Just to clear something up for anyone that might be confused, I had some radical SJW show up under one of my videos yesterday and post some long thing about how I didn't know what critical race theory is, and here's what CRT really is. Constantly trying to portray this as an academic study into the effects of this over the course of history, and assuming that you're an idiot, but I have a master's degree in history. Critical theory, directly from Marxism, is taking the Marxist dialectic of the bourgeoisie and proletariat, the haves and have-nots, and applying it to things other than strictly economics, including race, most deceitfully what they call power structures rooted in race or history. This is how they scapegoat certain people for everything in the history of the world, and for other people, nothing is ever, ever, ever their fault. SJWs always lie. And I say that because I'm being polite. I don't believe they're really so stupid that they believe this. They're intentionally being disingenuous, misrepresenting what it is that they're advocating for and believing in, just so they can deceive the people. Here's how this works. Let's pick an inner city community with a school and nobody does well in school. You say, well, it's underfunded because racism. You throw a lot of money at it, nobody does any better at school. Well, it's still mistreated because racism. We'll have special affirmative action for this and that and for teachers, and then it's, well, they're still underperforming because, well, the test is racist. It's not worded right. Then finally, when that doesn't work, you come back with, well, the whole idea of testing, in fact, the whole idea of being educated in reading and writing and arithmetic and classic literature is all white supremacist. It's all racism underpins it. So at each level, that what you claim must be the answer to cure this thing you've identified, when it doesn't work, you invent new excuses for why it didn't work and new ways to blame other people. Could it be that a culture that looks down on education, ridicules people for speaking well, looks down on being able to read and write, actually looks down on the idea of having a job and making a living because you're working for the man? Could it be that these communities suffer from this poisonous culture that holds them back, rather than, everything always being someone else's fault, always somehow, some way we will imagine it? This is what critical theory does with economics, with race, with sexuality, with religion, with everything. And this is how we arrive at stupid stuff that we see every day, like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or white supremacy and whatever. Yes, they will say this is just an academic way of studying history. No, it's a way of taking all the facts of history, twisting them, changing them, and reworking them to fit only the Marxist dialectic all the time, and then claiming that's the only thing that makes sense out of it. And as Marxism has always done, the more and more facts come out that prove that it's a whole bunch of hogwash and malarkey, you just keep adding new layers to it to pretend that none of those facts actually matter, and you just scream at people that they're Islam-archaeobiist whatevers because they don't accept your view of it. Because like a religion, the devotion of this ideology is such, they cannot accept real facts. It has to fit their vision, but it's always someone else's fault, always has to do with traditional race or values or law or history, or it's always got to be those people's fault all the time, and it can't be that the people we imagine are held back are just living the life they normally live.